Volgens mij doet hij het nu. Hoi iedereen, ik ben Nicole, voor de mensen die mij niet kennen. En ik ga vandaag even de marketing strategy voor intermission aan jullie uitleggen. Ten eerste, sorry, Lisa, een van mijn vriendinnen, zit nu in deze call. Ze hoort me niet en ziet niks, maar ik kon geen andere manier bedenken om deze video op te nemen op een snelle manier. Dus vandaar dat er, nou, Lisa is heel sportive. En ik ga even mijn PowerPoint erbij pakken. Eerst even nog een korte introductie. Ik ben de afgelopen semester bezig geweest met een marketingproject, digital marketing voor intermission. Ik ben een student op de hogeschool, de Hanse Hogeschool in Groningen. En ik heb wel wat ervaring met intermission inmiddels. Mijn moeder is ook Margriet, voor mensen die dat niet weten. En ja, ik ga gewoon even aan jullie voorleggen waar we aan hebben gewerkt de afgelopen tijd. Inmiddels ben ik nog met één andere in mijn groep, zij heet Lourdes. En samen doen wij dus de hele digital marketing strategy en implementation voor intermission. Nou, let's dive into it. Ik ga zo meteen over in het Engels, want dat is gewoon even wat makkelijker. De studie is ook in het Engels. En dan kan ik het even wat makkelijker uitleggen. Ja, en als jullie enige vragen hebben, stuur ze vooral door naar Margriet. En die verwijst dan de vraag die ze niet weet door naar mij. En dan kan ik zoveel mogelijk helpen om het duidelijker te maken als dat niet zo is. Alright, so the marketing strategy for intermission. First, I'm going to dive into the problem definition that we received, a SWOT analysis, the value proposition we created, who our high value audience is, the customer journey of our high value audience, the return on investments, which is the whole money aspect of our whole marketing strategy, and of course the goals that we hope to implement. So the first thing is our problem definition. So this is the question we've been trying to answer this whole past semester. How can we structure a sustainable marketing strategy that promotes the services of intermission to the target audience of adult third culture kids? So obviously those between 18 and 27-year-old on the social media of intermission and the website. We will be focusing mostly on the Instagram because this is where our high value audience of ATTKs is mostly situated. So what's really interesting that we were able to discover about intermission from interviews with our high value audience was that the biggest strength of intermission is the reputation. So among those who are partners of intermission, who have come in contact with intermission, who have used the services or just heard of it, the reputation is really, really strong and people are really well aware of what intermission does. However, a weakness is the lack of streamlined marketing. And this is where we will also be focusing our efforts. The massive opportunity for intermission that we would like to focus on is digital communication, not only for obviously counseling services and being in contact with people who are abroad, but also in spreading message and spreading ideas and spreading events that intermission is working on through digital communication platforms. A big threat is the niche market. So obviously missionary workers, developmental workers, TCKs is a very niche group of people. We know that it's a lot of people, but it's very hard to target this kind of markets because they're just so specific. You can't just do all, all developmental workers if you want to focus on Christianity, for example. So it's a very niche market to look at. The value proposition we therefore have is from a quote from Margriet, is that intermission is the only company that focuses on this target group alone, which is missionaries and developmental workers in the Netherlands, to be more specific, through the personalized services, coaching, and trainings that they offer. Other potential competitors are not consistent in coaching and member care. So we know that what intermission is doing is very specific in the Netherlands and the only company that does it in this way. Well, diving into our high value audience, for our project, we obviously had to define a very specific target group. So we decided to focus on the ATTKs because this is a group that intermission is currently not reaching as well as they would like to. And it offers a lot of potential for the growth of intermission. So we all know the definition of an ATTK. So someone who lived outside their parents' passport country during their developmental years. The biggest pain that we were able to pinpoint from the interviews with this high value audience is that they don't fit in with the Dutch culture. Their biggest gain from intermission would be proper reintegration and being able to adapt to the Dutch culture. And a deal breaker from a company that they're looking to for care would be a lack of empathy or understanding from the help source. So I would like to dive into the customer journey that a TCK would take in order to purchase, quote unquote, purchase one of Intermission's services. So it always starts with the awareness. Right now, Intermission is heavily reliant on word of mouth for creating awareness among the adult TCKs. It's very effective. There's a lot of adult TCKs, and those who have used the services will often promote it to their friends or to family or to other people in their mission organization. And most people that we've talked to heard about it through their parents or through their parents' companies. But we would like to focus a bit more in the future on PR and community creation to create more awareness. PR is obviously just public relations and how to get the message out through partnerships or through effective social media. And community creation is done, of course, through social media as well, and making sure that there's a platform where ATCKs feel that they are seen and then become aware of Intermission and what they offer. This can, of course, be done through an Instagram story, like using a Q&A, where someone, like, for example, me, would take over the Instagram channel for a week, and people on the Instagram can just ask questions, and then you respond. And this is a way to create community and create awareness through a very laagdrempelig way of coming into contact with the target audience. Next, after awareness, people will start considering, do they want to use Intermission services? Right now, everything is localized on the website for services. So once people are aware of Intermission, they look on the website, see what Intermission has to offer, and start thinking about considering purchasing one of the services. However, the way that the website is structured right now, the message on especially the Third Culture Kit page is not personalized. It doesn't really showcase the strength that Intermission has, which is empathetic and individual care. So focusing more on the strength that Intermission offers and making this the center of why they should consider using Intermission services would be incredibly important. More than that, we know that experiences and testimonies are what convert the most people. So if people are able to see experiences in their consideration phase, they are more likely to purchase Intermission services. So a big thing that comes with consideration is, do people feel like they are seen and represented when they are looking at what Intermission has to offer? From our interviews, we know that this is not the case on the Third Culture Kids page. And a big thing or small thing that can be changed for a big impact would be updating the images. So using relevant images, updated images with TCKs, ATCKs on it, like photos from the Unpacking Your Backpack weekend. Using this on the webpage will already make such a huge change, because then they feel like they are represented and seen. At the purchase process, at the moment, it's a very multi-channel process. So people are contacting Margriet or contacting through the website, through email, through companies, lots of different ways of getting into contact with how much they're going to pay, what the services are. It's happening all over the place. So streamlining the call to action, which is the marketing term for the purchase process, will be incredibly important. Again, a very small change to make this effective would be a single call to action button on every web page. So essentially, for the Third Culture Kit page, if the next event is coming up, which is Unpacking Your Backpack, having a button that's like, sign up right now for Unpacking Your Backpack, then it's instantly, they know what to do, where to look, can sign up through forms. It's a very streamlined way to get people on board, quick and easy. And lastly, after they have purchased, the retention phase happens, which is basically the loyalty phase. So right now it's done through newsletters, email, WhatsApp, which is very effective. We don't want to change a thing. Once people are in, they're in and they are loyal. So that's really good. But we would also, of course, like to increase this on the social media. And the way that we can do this is through Instagram posts. So, well, this actually goes through many phases, but using effective Instagram promotional flyers or event updates, then the people who are already loyal know what's coming up and they can sign up for more things and send it to the people that they know. So it's a very much a word of mouth way to go about that. And with that comes, of course, the experiences and testimonies, having those showcase on the social media, they are able to get into contact with more people. So, for example, using a review from the Unpacking Your Backpack on the Instagram will create advocacy from someone who has experienced it to people who are considering experiencing it. So it's all very intermingled The customer journey is never just the one step to the next step situation. It always is like, oh, they've seen this, they've seen this, they've seen multiple things on multiple channels, and then they will consider purchasing the service. So they all very much link together. Well, then, of course, now the interesting part, how is implementing all these different things going to affect intermission, going to affect the investments? So ignore that little context bubble that was for my coaches to give a little bit more context on what intermission does. But basically, some qualitative change that can be seen is that engagement levels on the Instagram will go up by 1% every month. So it starts off 1%, then it grows exponentially by merely implementing effective posts, posts that will speak to the high value audience, using updated images, using things like hashtags, effective keywords in the descriptions, which are all things that are mentioned more in the report that I already sent to Margriet. So if you're interested in exactly those little technical changes, then you can take a look at that as well. And website traffic will increase by 5% if you implement effective search engine optimization. And this is, of course, very technical again, but it's basically making use of effective keywords, effective imaging, effective messaging on the web page, and this will attract a lot more people to the website. Then when it comes to quantitative change, this is where the money comes. It takes about 120 euros a year to boost your Instagram posts. So this is the most minimal that you can do, but very effective in the first year. So every Instagram post that's boosted will reach 500 more people than one that isn't. It does mean that you have to put down money on that Instagram post and kind of experiments and hope for the best. And if, you know, through experimentation, you'll know exactly what works and what doesn't. But having more reach means that more people will hear about intermission and more people will start looking at intermission's page. And this will, again, increase more engagements, which will eventually lead people to the website. And that will eventually lead people to start purchasing the services. The same is true for increase in website traffic. If you put down a little bit of money for that, then the cost per click for the Third Culture Kit page will increase by 83%, or the amount of clicks will increase by 83%. So the goals that we've been focusing on is, of course, creating awareness. The biggest thing is that intermission needs to become, people need to become aware of intermission. So this is done through clear messaging, increased following and engagement, and community formation on the Instagram. The other goal is to increase website traffic. This can be done through effective search engine optimization. And lastly, it's to attract new clients from this high value audience. Thank you so much for your time. I know that that was a lot to take in, probably. Of course, I've been working on this for a while, so it all makes sense to me, but I can understand that a lot of this marketing is a little bit out there. So of course, feel free to contact through Margriet or send your questions, and I will be more than happy to answer them. For those of you who are more interested in the more technical side of things and the more technical side of marketing, I will make sure that I also send the report to Margriet again, and she can maybe send it to you as well, where it explains a little bit more in detail exactly what we're focusing on and exactly what technical things we will be changing. And for those who haven't seen the Instagram recently, we've been updating it a little bit, and we are hoping to update the website again soon. So then there will be some small changes made, but that we think can make quite a bit impact. So thank you so much for your time. Let me go back to my Skype setting. So thank you for your time, and I hope that you can do something with this. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye.